should your boyfriend buy a PlayStation 2? Is that really a question that needs answering? Do you honestly believe that is a question worth asking? Yes! I have a PlayStation 2! I'm a PlayStation nerd since the beginning! How dare you ask that question? And if you say no, then you are not a good girlfriend, lady. Let's see what you have to say. If you talk bad about PlayStation 2 and that you should not buy it, oh, we're gonna have problems.
I could never sit still in school, and as much as I love watching my boyfriend play video games, I often feel like a class clown starts boiling over. Involuntary sounds spill out of my body.
My apologies.
And I'll say anything for attention.
My tiny little nipples went to France.
So, after 30 hours of side questing in Assassin's Creed Odyssey, I needed the same thing I needed after a long day of 5th grade. I'll put this game in that makes my room a playground. I went on Amazon, bought a brand new PS2 dance pad, and a brand new copy of my childhood. I need some gaming that really lets me get down. And it took less than a day to arrive because we live in the future. Now I gotta cut loose, foot loose. Controllers are no use. Please, DD, Revolution Extreme.
Wow.
112 combo.
You're really good at that.
Thank you.
Do you play a different game now?
Yeah. But of course, when my boyfriend got out the PlayStation 2 and found all of the games from his childhood, he was like,
here we go again.
So, this isn't a review of Dance Dance Revolution. This is a review of what it's like to play the PS2 in 2019. This week's video is sponsored by Crunchyroll. We'll give you a link to try Premium for free, so hang out till the end. Right off the bat, the nostalgia is intoxicating.
Holy crap, it's working.
Doesn't that make you feel young again? And also, like, time is moving faster with each passing year and soon you'll be dead?
Hey, wait a minute.
Make you feel young again? And also, like, time is moving...
I remember that in my PlayStation 3 early years of having the PlayStation 3. I wonder why that's been taken off in my PlayStation 3. Just curious. And the fonts and stuff. Okay, let's move on.
Faster with each passing year and soon you'll be dead. We were both nostalgia tripping balls while setting everything up. Oh, remember instruction manuals?
Oh, I remember.
Remember memory cards?
Yeah, I remember that.
Remember this bullshit? So, just getting the PS2 out of the closet and turning it on was a 10 out of 10 must-play experience. But be warned, the games you revisit might change your memories of them forever. For example, Shadow of the Colossus was the biggest, most graphically mind-blowing adventure of its generation, and for over a decade, my boyfriend remembered it looking just like this. But in reality, it looks like this.
Oh, it's fuzzy.
Blurry.
Oh, it's got frame rate problems.
He said the yellow hue and poor frame rate felt like someone peed on his memories in slow motion.
All those moments lost like tears.
Once you take the nostalgia goggles off, you can't put them back on, folks. On the other hand, some PS2 games you might appreciate more because when you were a kid, you were kinda stupid.
The untested truths, spun by different interests, continue to...
I never played Metal Gear Solid 2, just Jack and Dexter among Jack 2 and 3 years later.
to churn and accumulate in the sandbox of political correctness and value systems.
Wait a minute! Who are you?
For my boyfriend, the Better with Age award goes to Silent Hill 2, because the crude visuals, cumbersome controls, and robotic performances that were common in 2001 now estrange the player even further from reality, deepening the nightmare.
Oh! Sorry. It scared me, I farted.
IGN named it the #1 spooky of all time, probably because it makes you feel like you're gonna be sick.
Butt crack.
Seriously, this game can cause physical discomfort and even pain. Like when after hours of running around in the dark, the save points blast your eyeballs with bright red light. Gives me a weird feeling.
That is a weird that hurts my eyes. What's
that?
Ah!
And the fog is so effective at simulating claustrophobia that part of the gameplay is enduring the real-life symptoms of it.
Oh my
I can't
God.
see!
Dude, this is nauseating, man.
Please, how do I get out of here? The developers knew that even a tiny bit of distress is all the body needs to tell the mind that something's wrong. And a brain on high alert is more vulnerable to the psychological horror of isolation and cosmic fear of the unknown. So Silent Hill 2 gets under your skin and then into your head, a haunting echo of how the titular town torments your character. It preys on the psyche, then tests how well you can navigate, problem solve, and survive under duress.
What? Oh!
Oh!
I farted. It scared me.
But for me, the scariest experience on the PS2 was this.
Uh-oh, it doesn't work. This is the dreaded PlayStation 2 screen. Oh my god, they sold you a broken game.
I called 5 different stores looking for a game I used to play, and made a 2-hour round trip to get it, only to discover that I'd been bamboozled. So, like the PS2 kids of yore, I embarked on a desperate mission to clean a disc. I learned of ancient healing magic like toothpaste, banana, and body spray. But all that sounded really weird, so we just gave it a wipe with rubbing alcohol and blue on it.
Oh! It's working!
Also, wait a minute. How to fix PS2 scratched games? If only I had that information back then. What? What? What?
It's
The Sims 2, baby! This was one of my favorite games as a kid. What little girl wouldn't love an adorable Dollhouse Simulator? I tortured my Sims. Now, 15 years later, I finally got an adorable Dollhouse Simulator. I tortured my Sims. Now, 15 years later, I finally got to play co-op with a boy, and it was eerily similar to our actual lives. I told him boring stories.
Why can't I move? Why have you locked me into this terrible conversation?
He tried to woohoo.
Oh, yeah!
I complained about how long he used the bathroom. But you need to hurry up and finish.
I'm having a hard time, dude. He's praying right now. He's like, please, God, I'll be better. Just let me poop this. Excuse me! I'm pooping here!
He acted like a creepy weirdo. Someone rang the doorbell. Can you go answer it?
No, I'm busy.
Go answer it.
No, I'm busy.
Please, go answer it. Maybe it's a new friend. Go.
I'm watching something.
Go. Ew, you're so creepy out there.
I know I told God I'd be good if he let me poop it, but I just need like 30 more seconds.
Oh my gosh.
Stop. I introduced him to my friends.
Oh, what the heck? I clicked impress and I hit her with a vacuum.
He complained about my friends.
She came into our house, ruined our toilet, ate our food, peed on the floor, and left toys on the ground.
I even lost track of time playing mobile games on the pooper.
Okay, I'm done. The phone's ringing. Hello? Yes, this is he.
What?
9/11, huh? Yeah.
So after all this time, The Sims still made me laugh like a kid.
Wow, look
Wow,
at your
look
face.
at my face, dude.
Are you
dead.
okay?
Oh my god. That's what I look like after I edit till 4 in the morning, you guys.
Before I move on to the final game in this review, I'd like to make a few honorable mentions. Jak and Daxter is open world collectathon perfection from the geniuses at Naughty Dog.
Oh!
Oh, he got turned into a furry.
Star Wars Battlefront 2 has third-person controls that put everything else we played to shame. Shark Tale is an absolute nightmare that a game store mysteriously gave to us for free as if to pass on a curse.
This is way harder than Dance Dance. Oh my god. We should take this back to the store and just throw it at the guy. So how dare you?
And this gargantuan, game-changing, generation-defining king of freedom needs no introduction.
CJ, we gotta get out of here. No way, don't call me that. Oh! That's what happens when you use the N-word.
But for this
I tried to play Grand Theft Auto San Andreas a few years back. It took way too long, and I was confused with the whole system, and the fact that you don't get to retry a mission after you failed, it turned me off. Yeah, I think that's my biggest offense with San Andreas. You can't have a retry mission option unless you save the game. But my dad seems to enjoy it back then.
this video, we decided there was only time to cover 3 of the 11 games we looked back on. My boyfriend chose Silent Hill 2, I chose The Sims 2,
Uh-oh, I have to poop.
and the third game was so good, it chose itself.
Oh wow, look at this.
God of War is a masterpiece. The gameplay is immortal, and the controls speak a universal language. Every other PS2 game we played made us feel like we traveled back in time. But God of War took us back to the future. Not even the 480p resolution could hold back this game's 4K imagination. Getting out the PlayStation 2 made it hard to focus on any of the games very long before popping in another to keep the nostalgia high going. But God of War sucked us in for hours at a time, and eventually became the only thing we wanted to play. Whenever we failed to overlook another game's shortcomings, Kratos would be like,
You could not live with your own failure. Where did that bring you? Back to me.
That's when we were no longer making a PlayStation 2 video. We were just two adults gaming for the same reason we gamed as kids all those years ago. 'Cause it's f***ing fun.
Got him.
So, you talked good stuff about the PS2. Good girl. You're such a good girlfriend. Although, me personally, when it comes to Jak and Daxter and God of War, the sequels are much better than the first. Although, you can appreciate the first with what they can do. And yeah, Star Wars Battlefront 2. The classic one. Good times. Anywho, yes, you approve, just like Spider-Man PS4. Thank you very much. You make me happy. And if I make you viewers happy, please consider liking and subscribing because it helps out a lot. And I can potentially make you happier, or I can make you angry. But either way, I'm sure we'll have a good journey together. Right? Right? Please consider liking and subscribing as it helps out a ton. And have a good day or night and take care. And don't die from the coronavirus.